Welcome back to the 9th Gym program, and today we're doing another team build in battle centering around Series 6. So, I like Lapras Gmax a lot in this format, and we're not going to be doing the normal Life Orb Max Attack strat or the normal Light Clay Bulky strat. We're going for the Weakness Policy with Comfey strat now. This is pretty cool, if I can type Comfey. This is a pretty cool strat because you have things like Giga Drain, and it has the ability Triage, which gives you +3 in your +3 priority for healing moves, and Giga Drain heals. It has the secondary effect of recovering 50% of your damage, so you even actually get a little bit of HP back, which is kind of cool. Usually not going to be super relevant, but kind of cool. So that is what we're doing. Comfey, Lapras, I like it. I think it's really cool. Now, Fake Out's annoying. Fake Out, they fake out your Comfey, and it's like, okay, well that sucks. But as we see here, Fake Out is also on that +3 priority, which is the same. Weird. So let's look at our speed here. You see this? 100. We're still pretty fast. So we can outspeed some of the faster Fake Out users or some of the slower Fake Out users, really what it comes down to. So things like Grimmsnarl, your Fake Out doesn't matter. Things like Weavile, that's the only Fake Out that really hurts us because we can't do anything about that. We hit to 167, which is pretty fast, mind you, but not fast enough. So we're going to generally go more into bulk, but we can also use Focus Sash, which is good. Now, a lot of people run like Protect on this Pokemon. Actually, I don't know. Not many people run Protect on this Pokemon. Let's go ahead and look at Pikalytics here real quick. Comfey, number 20, pretty respectable there. Number 20 in usage stats, makes a lot of sense. It's pretty good. It's been picking up a lot of steam recently. So we have Floral Healing and Giga Drain. These are our two proccing moves. A lot of the time it'll be paired with Goodra, as we see here at number 2. Floral Healing also gets that +3 priority, but also is proccing the Goodra's weakness policy. So a lot of the time you'll have a set of Lapras, Goodra, and Comfey, and which one is gonna have the weakness policy? That's the big question. So we might run Goodra, maybe like a Assault Vest Goodra or something. That could be cool. That could be cool. Ally Switch is pretty pesky, and we'll probably run Ally Switch, to be honest. It might be like Giga Drain, Trick Room, Ally Switch, Protect. I'm kind of leaning. That seems like really good. Taunt is also a really good option. As well, setting Trick Room, keeping away Trick Room could be cool. Helping Hand is a really good option, of course. Draining Kiss and Floral Healing, that's only for proccing Goodra, and it seems like Goodra is more frequently paired with it because of this 96.71 Floral Healing. Now, of course, it's also Stab. It does some damage. It heals a little. Wait. I had it mixed up. Floral Healing actually just heals, which is good. So we're going to run Giga Drain, Floral Healing, Trick Room, and then probably Ally Switch or Protect, and whatever we think is going to be more used. So Fake Out is really annoying, and Protect definitely helps that. If we use Focus Sash, and as you can see here, Focus Sash is the second most used item, so it definitely makes a lot of sense for us to just go for Focus Sash and, proc our weakness policy. Focus Sash with Protect could be good. Now, Helping Hand is actually a really good option as well, because it does, out prioritize the Fake Out, and that could be used really well as well. If we go for Focus Sash, I think Protect is probably optimal, because then we still have our Focus Sash intact, which is good unless they target it down to the max move, in which case we get a free turn 1, and then next turn they can't Fake Out us again, so that's probably optimal. I think Protect is really good on this Pokemon, just because of Fake Out and how prevalent Fake Out is. It's always going to be very prevalent as long as it's in a format, which it always will be. So let's fill this out a little. We have Giga Drain here, and Floral Healing I want a lot, and I think Trick Room is the go-to. So I think we're going to go for Protect instead of Ally Switch. I don't know if this is right. Also, we're not going to go for as much speed here. We don't need Jolly. We don't need plus anything. We don't need that much speed probably. I think this is what I want to go for. Focus Sash and Triage. With enough speed to outspeed everything. Although, like I said, everything that we outspeed, we actually just naturally outspeed. So we're just gonna go into HP here, and then also some other stuff. I don't know if I like Focus Sash. I don't know if I'm going for Focus Sash actually, because then if we don't go for Focus Sash, we can lose Protect, and then we can go for Ally Switch, which could be better a lot of the time. So Lapras, let's go ahead and look at Lapras a little bit. Shell Armor is what we're going to go for here. Water Absorb is just not as used, and Hydration we're not even going to like look at for this kind of build. Like, you would only use Hydration for like a rest kind of thing, which is really gimmicky and not really what we're going for, because Comfey Lapras is like actually very consistent, not really a gimmick at all. So yeah, Lapras, it's going to be Freeze Dry. We're offensive. We're weakness policy, so we're going to have Freeze Dry, we're going to have Hydro Pump. We don't get Cannon, right? No, just Pump. So Freeze Dry, Hydro Pump. You know what? Freeze Dry, I honestly kind of want to go for Blizzard. It would be a more damaging move. We'll calc some stuff here, so we'll leave that empty for now. But yeah, Hydro Pump's definitely, and Thunder is 100% the way we're gonna go. Now, if our calcs are really good for weakness policy, we might change this to Thunderbolt, because without, you know, like without, we said Rain, so we're probably fine like after, but still is good. And then we're gonna have Protect as our last move here. This is gonna be a defensive calc, because most of our damage comes from the fact that we are weakness policy, so we'll have to calc for Lapras as well. So we'll calc for Lapras and Comfey. I guess we'll go ahead and do that now. We'll start with Lapras just because it's the main Pokemon, but Comfey is not far behind as far as you know, considering main Pokemon. So whoops. So let's go ahead and do some calcs. Let's run some calcs. So for Lapras, I'm gonna cut out all the blank space, so we're just gonna go right into each calc. So we're gonna do a little bit of damage calcs for offense first before the defense, so that I can pour the rest into you know, HP and stuff, so that we can live these kind of attacks. So yeah, we're gonna go for, you know, like some offensive calcs that we may need. It's Series 5, so we don't have to worry about things like Togekiss and Venusaur and Rillaboom and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna start off with Amoonguss here. So we have seen in Series 6, a lot of Amoonguss are kind of moving more towards special defensive instead of physically defensive. I mean, last format we saw probably the most used in Series 5 set of Amoonguss was just 252 HP and defense, and then Bold Nature just being 252 plus into defense. Now we're seeing it more leaning towards special defense while still having investment into our physical defense for an Amoonguss. So, you know, this is a pretty reliable calc at 252 HP. 196 plus special defense Amoonguss. It's just like kind of to cover, you know, the majority of bases. Now, of course, it'll have Yachi Berry. I mean, as we can see here on Pikalytics, Yachi Berry is actually one of the most, and I'm on Series 6. Whoops. Series 5. Or wait, no, I'm on the right one. I'm stupid. Amoonguss. So we still see Koba Berry very, very highly used, and Focus Sash. It's actually surprising to me to see Yachi Berry so far down on this list. Yachi Berry all the way down at 3.6. I think a lot of players were starting with Yachi Berry thinking Lapras was going to be so strong, and now Lapras kind of has fallen off. I mean, it's not even top 10 Pokemon anymore. It's right there. It's number 10, actually. So, yeah, I still think Lapras is a super, super relevant threat in Series 6, so we're definitely going to respect that and lean a lot towards special defense for Amoonguss, just so that we can, you know, take it out. So what we're going to do, actually, is we're going to make a 252 just to cover every base possible, and then I'm going to lower our special attack as low as it possibly needs, 0, and as you can see here, Max Hailstorm at +2, Neutral Nature, Max Hailstorm 140 off the base move of Blizzard. We are still taking this thing out 100% of the time, guaranteed OHKO. Now, of course, if it has a Yachi Berry, gotta change up. And also, you know, if we think it might have a Yachi Berry, like depending on their team, if they have no ice resistance or coverage really, or like coverage against ice Pokemon, and they look like they aren't worried, that means they probably have a Yachi Berry, and that's like, you know, pretty reliable to think about that. So then we probably just go for a Thunder Max, like a Max Thunder, which isn't doing a lot of damage. So hopefully that, you know, does a lot of damage to his partner Pokemon. But yeah, I think this is a pretty relevant calc here. Let's go ahead and see if we can calc it for Freeze Dry here. Freeze Shock, no sir. Let's see if we can just calc it to Freeze Dry so that we can use Freeze Dry instead, because I would rather use Freeze Dry instead. So here we have a +2 Max Hailstorm with the root move of Freeze Dry, as you can see here. Boom, right there, Max, right there on the bottom left corner. We have Max Hailstorm 120 BP off of that Freeze Dry. Into a 252 plus Amoonguss, hitting a guaranteed OHKO. So this is what we're going to be going with here. Of course, it's going to have Focus Sash a lot of the time as well, so it's pretty reliable to not go for this, but it's still like a good idea, because we're going to, you know, open up with a Max Thunder a lot of the time against an Amoonguss lead. But if it's not, like if we think it might be in the back and we're not going to die like immediately, we're probably okay. So this is what we're going to do. Yeah, 108 special attack at least. Let's check another offensive calc. So here we are. We're pretty okay. This is with weakness policy procced, but also -1 from a fast snarl from an Arcanine. Into a pretty common spread here, 116 HP and 164 special defense. I think that's pretty, reliable, just due to most Arcanine, as you can see there, most Arcanine will need that 220 spread into HP, or into speed rather. A lot will need to, invest a good bit into speed, and then the rest into special defense and HP. So it's a pretty solid split. I think it's a pretty reliable calc. And either way, we have a lot of wiggle room because we're hitting 130 to 153% off of a max geyser here from the Hydro Pump root move. So I think that's a pretty reliable calc. So 108 is looking pretty good for that as well. Let's check a couple more calcs, and yeah. Talonflame, nothing really, that you wouldn't expect here. 206, 242, right into Talonflame. It's an easy knockout. That thing's gone pretty safely. Let's check another calc. So here we have an unfortunate calc. Now this is a Dynamax Drixult with 4 HP, no other defenses, because it's always going to be attack and special defense. It's always going to be attack and speed for a Dracozolt investment. So we're going +1, and let me change that now, +2. Looking pretty solid here. Freeze Dry +2 from our weakness policy proc, hitting 120 into the Dracozolt. Guaranteed Oko. Pretty solid stuff here. Something we would probably expect. If we lead, Lapras Comfey against Dracozolt, you can go for a Protect or a Max Guard turn 1, and then set up Trick Room. And as long as they don't have Fake Out plus Dracozolt, which they probably won't, but most of the common leads are Dracozolt Clefairy or Dracozolt and Talonflame. So I don't expect to see that too frequently. Maybe a taunt from the Talonflame into our Comfey. That would be bad if we go for like a Protector Max Guard and then Comfey goes for that and it gets taunted. That would be a bad game plan. So maybe we'll, figure out a bit different of a matchup thing for Dracozolt. But regardless, having that guaranteed Oko with weakness policy proc is pretty safe and I think pretty reliable. So that's a really good calc as well. Let's check another calc. So here with Primarina, I wanted to go ahead and state this. So Freeze Dry at +2 with 108 investment into a Dynamax Primarina with 252 HP is not doing much damage. 36 to 43. This thing's so bulky. I really don't understand how it's so bulky. It's just so good. Guaranteed 3 KO. We're not doing that much damage. It's still a really good way to end it. But also same here with Thunder. We have about 50% damage, which is not that much. But to be fair, Primarina is not doing much damage to us, even if it uses Energy Ball here. It's not going to be doing too much. It's hitting about the same, and this is before we even have much investment. I mean, 252 HP is a lot of investment, though. But also, it's before Aurora Veil, which is really, really solid, and we match speeds at 60 and 60, so unless, they set up some form of speed control, we got a speed tie immediately to see if we get that Aurora Veil up to, damage deafen that from 25%. So I think Primarina is a solid matchup. It's not something I love, it's not a great matchup, but it's not bad, especially if they have like Amoonguss in the back. You start setting up like Thunder with electric terrain. Now their Amoonguss sucks and their Primarina is not doing enough damage to Lapras to win this race. I mean, we're hitting about, almost 50%, which is a really, really reliable calc to a KO. Here 97 point a lot to 2-hit KO, while they have like a very high chance of 3-hit KOing, and obviously this is without Life Orb, but once again it's without Aurora Veil as well. So you'll guaranteed get that up by the next turn if you go for that, and if they lead like a Amoonguss Primarina, you have to go for Thunder, but then the next turn you still have a chance of calcing for that Aurora Veil, and they're still not knocking you out even if it's with Life Orb. So Primarina is a pretty good matchup in my opinion too, and especially if we don't use, if we have Freeze Dry instead of Blizzard. Last offensive calc we're going to have here is Charizard. I just want to make sure I can take this thing out. And we can't. So I'm going to add a little bit of special defense here, or a special attack here, just to make sure. I mean, I'm not going to put this thing head on against the a Charizard very frequently because its damage is insane. I mean, a max Solar Beam with with Solar Power and Life Orb. I mean, this thing's doing infinite damage. We're gonna have some different form to deal with that. And in Sun, I mean, our Hydro Pump's doing no damage, but their Solar Beam's still not taking us out. So it's not a bad matchup, but I think so. I want something else for it. Maybe Terrakion, something. something. So here we have our +2 212 Lapras Hydro Pump. Whoops, hold on. I was wondering where the damage went. We're okay at 108. So Lapras Max guys are at 108. 108 investment into a Charizard, takes it out, guaranteed, without Sun. Now, if they set Sun, it'll be a little bit different, but they're still, you know, like I said, not doing too much damage, which is pretty good. So we're okay with that. So 108 here is looking pretty good for our offensive calcs. I already put that into my showdown build for Lapras. Let's go ahead and look at some defensive calcs and make sure this thing can live a couple of attacks. All right, so back at this, we have Poliwrath with, whoops, I made it Babbery Berry, not Choice Band. But as you can see here, even if it has Choice Band, Choice Banded Poliwrath. Now, like I said, this is going to be Urshifu. I mean, look down here at the attack stat is 130. It is the offensive power of an Urshifu. It's stab. It's doing a lot of damage. This will be for, you know, dark or water type Urshifu, either form of the Urshifu. Still taking it out. You know, close combat. Has 79 roughly 78 to 92%, which is a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage, but it's not an OHKO. Now let's go ahead and look at our Comfey. Now Giga Drain is doing, oh, this is going to be a lot less. It's not going to be offensive. Doing about 10 to 13%, which is, you know, relevant, especially since the Urshifu can do about 90%, 94 at most. So we're going to invest a little bit more into defense, make sure that it can't do 87. That's what we're looking for. Under 87 for Choice Band. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here we are. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of defense calcs just to make sure it does under 87. And here we are at 73 to 86, meaning even if it gets a high roll, the maximum roll, we still live there with 1 tick of damage. And I'm actually going to add one more investment just to make it 86% instead of 86.4. The game is weird sometimes, and, you know, it might just chance round up. So we're just going to make it 86. Guaranteed live now, which is very, very solid here. Against the regular form, you know, we can get Thunder, hit a really hard Thunder, Max Thunder into it. It's gone. The water form is dead. Bye-bye, boy. Now the other form, dark form, is, you know, we're probably just going to go for a freeze dry or a not freeze dry, but a max freeze dry and do a lot of damage to it and set up the resonance. It's a bad matchup, don't get me wrong, but still making it so that we don't just die right off the bat is something I definitely like. Random calc I wanted to mention for our defensive calc here. 252 plus attack Ferrothorn max overgrowth with Choice Band, or that's without, but yeah, with Choice Band, not like just regular Power Whip into our 52 defense, 252 Dynamax boy, or Lapras, you know, boy or girl, hits 65, or 64.5 to 75.9, which is a guaranteed 2 KO, guaranteed live Ferrothorn, nothing Ferrothorn can do. It's looking more calcs for defensive. Porygon Z's not the best matchup. I mean, we wall it pretty well, which is good. But, you know, we can't proc our thing, which is kind of bad. So, yeah, I mean, as you can see here, 50 damage is, like, a lot of damage. And before Dynamaxes, or like, when the Dynamaxes, we're doing about the same, and they're outspeeding us. So, it's not a great matchup, but we pair it with Arcanine, and then we just, like, fire off some powerful Snarls. Now, this is with Weakness Policy proc damage. Without Weakness Policy proc damage, we're doing P damage. It's bad. It ain't good. So yeah, we're gonna feature something like Arcanine, probably Arcanine on the team. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so here's another defensive calc, 252 plus special attacking Duraludon Max Steel Spike. Let's give it a Life Orb just to see the most damage it can do. Still doing 30 to 35 damage. That's not bad at all. So yeah, I mean, we have a pretty good matchup against like Duraludon, Grimmsnarl as well. So yeah, our bad matchups now are Charizard and Dracozolt, really, and then any form of redirection. So PZ Clef is not a great matchup. So let's, you know, force our hand to have a couple of really good matchups with those Pokemon. All right, so here we have our calc. So 100 here for special attack, just so that we can live guaranteed. 252 into HP and then 52 into defense. Now we live Urshifu attack. Now we live, you know, Ferrothorn, Sarina, stuff like that. Let's go ahead and pour the rest into this -8 or -4, and then put the rest into speed, just so that we get a full calc here. And then we're gonna go into bold nature. Nah, special defense. So we're gonna go for special defense plus with minus attack because we don't have any attack for that. We're gonna add freeze dry here, and boom. now we have a pretty cool Lapras. Its weakness policy, it has a pretty relevant spread, you know, living a lot of certain Pokemon, not dying to a lot of certain Pokemon, as well as being able to kill a lot of Pokemon. So I like this Lapras spread. Let's go ahead and fill out a Comfey spread real quick. I'm not going to take as long for this one. Alright, so here we have a Duraludon Max Steel Spike Life Orb, the same thing we just had, and then 252 HP, 44 Babbery, Comfey, guaranteed lives. So that's kind of what we're going for there. Random Calc, you know, Brave Bird, Talonflame, Life Orb, max attack into our Comfey, guaranteed to a KO. Pretty good Calc. One Calc we will not be able to beat. This is Dragalge. You know, adaptability max ooze from max invested into our boy, hitting guaranteed Oko. 134, there's no way to calc this. I mean, even if you see us go to 252, no calc. There's just nothing you can do there. That's just a bad matchup, Dragalge. Random bad matchup. Yeah, I'm pretty comfy with that. I think, or no, actually no pun intended there. I'm pretty comfy with this Comfey spread. So we're going to go 20 here and then pour the rest into our special defense. And then, because we naturally outspeed all the fake out Pokemon that we would be worried about, everything other than Weavile pretty much. So we'll have a good matchup for beat up. We'll make some form of good matchup for beat up stuff. You know, maybe we'll see. We'll figure it out. I went Bold Nature here, just because of yeah. And then, so yeah, we're going Giga Drain, Floral Healing, Trick Room. We're going to switch this to Ally Switch instead, and then we're going to make this Babbery. Now we're, you know, not too worried about too much fake out stuff, except for Weavile. But yeah, like I said, we're going to make a good matchup for the Colossal stuff and the beat up stuff. So that'll be good. We're going to add Amoonguss right now. I think Amoonguss works really well. You know, Lapras, of course, our Thunder is going to be kind of countering other Moonguy. But if we think they're not going to have a Yachi Berry or Focus Sash, we can just go for the max dry right off the bat, which is good. Amoonguss, you know, Focus Sash is being ran pretty frequently, about 25%, Picolytics says. I think it's a little bit higher, you know, in high tier play. So I don't know exactly what I want to be going for there, because if we set Trick Room, then Amoonguss is kind of like being a huge pain. But our own Amoonguss is really good, and also we're going to feature Arcanine on our team, and I'm going to make it Safety Goggles. So, you know, we have outs for an opposing Amoonguss, because, yeah, I don't really want, I don't want to have to set our own, like, Thunder terrain if I think Amoonguss is going to be, you know, like a pseudo win con for myself. We just don't really want that. And since we took Focus Sash off of this, I might run Focus Sash on the Amoonguss. We'll see. We won't really be setting, like, we don't set this kind of weather, so, like, I think it's pretty good to set Focus Sash. So for now, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go ahead and fill this out a little bit. Spore, Rage, Powder, one tack, and then Protect. Now we could even go for Giga Drain to proc our weakness policy here again. Or, like, you know, have a different way of procking it. I still think I probably want to just go for some healing with Pollen Puff, because it's going to be like a very centric one Lapras, keeping it alive. Weakness policy is super attacking. And, you know, they're going to kill Comfey pretty easily. Lapras just chilling, probably not going to take too much damage for that long. And yeah, I think it's good. So, you know, bad matchups are Urshifu, Charizard, and Dracozolt. So let's go ahead and match those up a little bit here. Oh, and I'm also going to go ahead and put this spread that I've been liking a lot here. Boom, 220 and 4, and then we're going to go for Timid Nature. We're going to go ahead and fill this spread out a little bit as well. I think Heat Wave is good. We're obviously going to run Snarl because that's the whole thing. I want to have Protect because I think we might have a bit lacking of a Protect on the team. We can always change it if worse comes to worse, but I like this set a lot. Heat Wave, Snarl, Will-O-Wisp, Protect. It's very, very standard. It's exactly what you're going to be seeing a lot. Intimidate, Safety Goggles, I think it's pretty solid. Arcanine is then set up. Amoonguss just needs a spread. We'll work on that in a little bit. Let's figure out some of our bad matchups. So, beat up stuff, you know, it could be bad, but we now have Amoonguss Rage Powder, which is really good. You know, they lead the Weavile plus beat up guy, or like beat up and beat up user, or beat up user and justified user. Whether that's like Salazzle or Weavile, either way, you know, we can't really do this turn 1. So, you know, this is 3 support Pokemon. So I definitely want the last couple of Pokemon to be very, very offensive Pokemon. I'm not exactly sure what I want those to be yet, but, you know, let's explore some options. So my first idea was Terrakion. It deals with, our opposing Pokemon pretty well. Charizard, Rock Slides are really good. I would just make this Tyranitar, We can't run Tyranitar, so that's pretty annoying. But we also do have Trick Room here, so we could even make this Gigalith, which could be a good option because it would give us an alternate, you know, win con Pokemon that can just deal a lot of damage, be really good under Trick Room, but it's not weakness policy, which is the typical way you'll see it. Maybe Choice Band could be good, but I don't know. I don't really want to run a Choice Band Pokemon here. Maybe Ferrothorn is what I was thinking, but then we're doubling up on Grass. And yeah, Lapras deals with most like Fire-type Pokemon, especially like Arcanine, really well. But I still think, you know, we might be a little lackluster. So Terrakion might be good. If the other Pokemon is a physical Pokemon, which I'm leaning on it being, Terrakion coaching can be really strong. So, and this is going to be like a not always maxing Pokemon. I don't know exactly what I want to make this Pokemon. Maybe like Lumberry, you know, Justified, of course, Rock Slide, do some damage. We could make the other Pokemon beat up as well, and then we have multiple different strategies, but there's no beat up user that's faster than Terrakion that I really want to use. You know, like Hydreigon's cool, but I don't really want to, I want a physical type Pokemon, and, you know, beat up strats, if you're making it physical, is probably going to be like supportive. So I'm not really leaning for that, but Terrakion I think is fine without going for that. It does like, it still has great base stats, like 129 for attack is really good, and then like HP at 91, defense at 90, special defense at 90, and speed at 108. Like, it's just an all-around amazing Pokemon, Swiss Army knife of a Pokemon, and not actually at all a Swiss Army knife of a Pokemon. It just does a lot of damage. Rock Slide, you know, close combat is like really good. We're looking at ways to take down certain Pokemon, and this doesn't really deal with Dracozolt. Nothing really does. Arcanine is good against Dracozolt, but if they open like Dracozolt Bisharp, then we're kind of in trouble, because any Pokemon that we pair with Arcanine other than Amoonguss just dies immediately. So maybe like Focus Sash, Amoonguss would work there really well, but if Dracozolt goes for you know, a Max Bolt Beak still, then our whole game plan is kind of just destroyed. So yeah, I definitely need these Pokemon to be very, very powerful. Terrakion's a good answer to Dracozolt as well. It does a lot of damage to it, but it's not like enough probably. Let's check a calc for that. Yeah, it ain't doing it. So we're gonna, you know, bounce around a couple of different ideas and let's figure it out. Urshifu would be great on our team. I think Sylveon could make sense on our team. It's a middle speed Pokemon, so it can be good under Trick Room or without, which is good. Something we're looking for. A Trick Room Sweeper could be something really good. But then we kind of have to bring Comfey, and I don't really want to bring Comfey without Lapras. It doesn't really make much sense to, so that's kind of why I'm leaning on having, you know, I have Amoonguss and Arcanine, which can be great Pokemon in the back, but then I kind of want Terrakion and something else that can be really good. Corviknight came to mind. Corviknight's a really good Pokemon as well. You know, Corviknight could work. You know, doing a lot of damage. We can bulk up. We can go for a bulk up strategy. I've liked it a lot in like the last couple of days, but yeah, we need something that can beat like fast beat up users as well, and neither of these Pokemon really do that. But beat up, I'm not too worried about beat up. Like I was saying with Amoonguss, I don't think we need to worry about beat up strats too much. Colossal could be a bit of a problem, but Lapras, you know, doesn't take too much damage from that. Let's check a calc for that real quick. Yeah, so I'm not too worried. I think we're okay with the Colossal matchup as well. Lapras deals with that pretty well. You know, which I like a lot. Special defense, we don't even have special defense there. 92 is what it's actually going to be, and our special attack is going to be pretty solid as well. And you know, like as we saw here, 108 is what it is. So I mean, looking at this, you know, this is without weakness policy. So we're at weakness policy proc, boom, we kill it. Their weakness policy proc, boom, they don't do anything. Guaranteed 3 OHKO. Oh, you got me. So we have pretty good strats against beat up with the Amoonguss. Oh, whoops, I didn't show you that. There's a calc. Yeah, so Colossal's not doing that much damage to us, while Hydro Pump is doing a lot of damage to them. So pretty good stuff. I think that's like a matchup that I'm fairly strong to. However, you know, with Colossal, we have to reposition into the Triad. So we would probably go with like Amoonguss Lapras lead, or like Amoonguss plus something else lead, and then transition into a Lapras Comfey lead somehow. And I'm not exactly sure how, as we don't have like really any switching move, which is pretty annoying. Maybe we'll go for that kind of switching move, and yeah. Also, another way we can beat Dracozolt is Raichu. I think Raichu could be good on the team. We're going to be able to set our own stuff here with that. I think Raichu could be good. Trick Room's kind of weird on the team. Honestly, I'm kind of leaning on just running Taunt instead. Not playing Trick Room and then taunting things under Trick Room. But Lapras works pretty well under Trick Room, so does Amoonguss. And, you know, Terrakion's not set yet, but I think I'm kind of leaning on Terrakion and Raichu as my last 2 Pokemon, like a physical Raichu. But it could also be a not physical Raichu and go for, like, Volt Switch and stuff. And that's kind of what I was thinking, where, like, then we have some pivoting and fake outs. So that, I think, like, I kind of like that. I think it's good. Honestly, I like this a lot. I think I really like this core, actually. Raichu can do damage as well. We'll still run it like kind of a support boy, like fake out Nuzzle, but then Volt Switch and Thunderbolt. And actually I kind of want to go for Thunder just because like we have Lapras, but I think Thunderbolt is just more realistic. Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, and after a Lightning Rod +1, we're doing a lot of damage actually with Thunderbolt, which is like pretty good. I think this does a lot of damage, but you know, like Amoonguss Arcanine is like kind of mediocre and or like doing damage, and if we make this taunt, then we don't have Spore under Trick Room as just like a pseudo win con. So I don't know exactly what I want to go for there. I think we're still gonna go for Trick Room. I think it's good. I think we're gonna go for Trick Room. And then we have Amoonguss and Lapras, both that really like that. Terrakion and Raichu don't like it at all, neither does Arcanine really, but you know, against like a very, very fast team, like a Tailwind team, we can still thrive under that with these Pokemon. So I think that's still a good option. Now, this wants Focus Sash, so I think you're going to lose Focus Sash, Amoonguss. But what do we want to lose it for? We could go Koba. You know, Koba's good. Koba Berry's good. Or maybe even Yachi Berry as well. But I think the Focus Sash is the way here. And actually, we could even go for Akaberry. That could be an option. But for now, we're going to leave it at Koba. Koba's just, like, relevant. Like, it's just fair to go for that. Here, we're going to go for Speed and Special Attack now that we put the Sash on it. Go for Timid. Be as fast as possible. After a Lightning Rod, we're doing a lot of damage with Thunderbolt, which is very good. However, you know, like, Dracozolt is still going to be kind of a pest. But I think this is pretty good. And now Terrakion is like a maxable Pokemon, which I like. I want to have a different max Pokemon that I don't have to always just max Lapras. Now, you know, these 3 are support Pokemon, and Raichu's like a pseudo support Pokemon with Fake Out and Nuzzle. But, you know, Lapras weakness policy is enough power a lot of the time. So I think Lapras is, you know, it's a very Lapras-esque team. Rock Slide, Close Combat. I want to have Protect on here since we don't have Protect on here or here. So, well, I guess I don't need Protect, actually. 3 is probably okay. I still like having Protect in the back, though. So we're going to go for Rock Slide, Close Combat. What coverage do we need here? Do we need Dig? Wait, does it get Dig or it gets Stomping? Or does it get high horsepower? No, it's Stomping. Okay, so we're going for Stomping Tantrum here, and then Attack, Speed, Bop, Boom, Jolly. That's good. Raichu's good. Terrakion, Arcanine. We just need a spread for Amoonguss. So we're going to be pretty lazy here, actually, since it's the very end of the video. And we're going to go HP, Boom, and then Special Defense. We're going to go for enough Special Defense to live... Lapras? I don't know. I mean, our Calcs said that we didn't live Lapras. But, like, our Lapras matchup should be okay. We have, like, Snarls with our own Lapras being able to, like, kind of be good. Raichu to cover our own Lapras. The mirror match is going to be pretty lame. We have Thunder, which will get stopped by our own Raichu sometimes, which is kind of annoying, but is what it is. It is what it is, what I'm saying. I did it all off screen. Whoops. Damage Calcs, it's fine. We just went for a pretty basic one. We live Talonflame, which is really good. We don't live Lapras, which is like not great, but I don't really feel comfortable bringing Amoonguss into a Lapras matchup most of the time anyway, because it's going to set terrain for 4 turns and probably won't do it the first turn if I don't lead it. So that means 5 turns, and I don't want to have a Pokemon that I can't really bring realistically for 5 turns. So yeah, I'm not too worried. I think Amoonguss is probably going to be fine here. Boom, 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 boom. We're pretty good. I think that I like the team. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. I like this team a lot. I think it's really good. Lapras Comfey is really cool. And we don't have a lot of power, though. That's really the only downside. Maybe we'll go for a more physical attacking Arcanine next time, like a more offensive Arcanine. But we'll see. I'll definitely test this around with some Series 6 games here in the next few days. Probably on either stream or for this. Yes, I said stream. We're going to be streaming soon. My laptop got delayed, so I might be delayed on streaming. But yeah, definitely, you know, hit like, subscribe, comment, do all those stuff, put on the bell. Big things coming, streaming's coming. It's gonna be a fun time. We're gonna have a fun time. I'm gonna play this you know, team a little bit for videos this week, so definitely keep that in mind. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe, join my Discord, follow me on Instagram. I said Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. I don't have an Instagram. And support me on Patreon if that's something you're into. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.